Based on the feedback we've gotten from when we started Sabi Nation and went on a break. I remember going on a break and Femi sent me a message and said, "Oh boy, did they find us? Oh, did they find us? Like say we don't thief."
I was one of them. Yeah. I'm not sure you guys are going to make a lot of money from that thing. I'm telling you, it might just be your 401k that you are.
Yeah.
Great. It's another Wednesday. It's a fantastic one. I have very special people here. These guys are very fond of them. We go way back, They're very good at what they do. They're very diverse. And when I say diverse, they have their footprints everywhere. They're in the IT industry. They serve God. They're practical. They're leaders. They are what I call generational template for the future of Africa, Africans in the diaspora, and for the future of Africa in Africa. So pay attention. This is not an ordinary session. You understand? It doesn't matter how old you are. These guys, they have it. So today I have Chika, Alfred, and Femi Ajiboye. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Startup and Innovators.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. So, most of my guests, my past guests, I've had people in agriculture, people in AI, the guy that was in Nigeria, that one of the first set of people that started the www.com in America has been here. I have people that do events through automation, all sort of people, they've been here. But I'm saying this because a lot of them are very young people, young and dynamic, and they're going to learn from what you guys are going to say, because the question I'm asking you guys are not ordinary questions. It encompasses everything. Unfortunately, time is always our friend, so let's go for the jugular. So Chika Alfred, is a project and a program management consultant and business management consultant, also with experience spanning the NHS. If you live in the UK, you know what the NHS is. Local government and private consultancy. Is a serial entrepreneur, property development expert, driven by building systems. So we're going to talk a lot about that. Businesses and ideas that create real world impact. Beyond his professional work, Mazi, that's his nickname. We're going to hear why we're going. Mazi is deeply creative. He enjoys painting, arts and craft. If you are creative, you paint. You probably don't even know what you're painting or what you're trying to do.
But you definitely create something.
Yeah. He sees property investment as both a strategic and creative outlet, regularly acquiring properties at auctions, flipping them with vision and precision. He also supports clients in developing and scaling their business. I'm going to talk about scaling too, It's AI time, man. AI time. You have to scale. Like they say, AI is taking all the job. AI is not taking the job. You have to scale your responsibility.
You have to scale your responsibility.
So that you'll be relevant. If you're a receptionist, you can't be a receptionist again. Mazi is co-founder, co-host of Our Unasiam podcast. We're going to talk about that also. It's a pidgin English platform. Fantastic. I say it all the time. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen or heard. I love it so much.
Thank you very much.
I'm fascinated every time I talk about it. He's also the co-founder of Nigerians That Rock. Yes, a community celebrating Nigerians worldwide who are making positive impact. He's a change agent. There's no doubt about it. So in his downtime, Mazi enjoys experimenting with new recipes, likes to cook. Right? All right. So my other brother here, Femi Ajiboye, Femo, they call him, Mazi and Femo. That's why Flavio said ab initio.
Yeah.
Okay, Femi is a technical consultant, front-end developer, IT instructor, AI advisor known for transforming complexity into clarity. So if you're wearing glasses and you see can't see, Femi is a man. He specializes in design, UI, UX, web development, accessibility and emerging AI initiative. He helps individuals and organizations build cleaner systems, improve workflows, create both inclusive digital experiences. Uh, he works within the federal mandated nonprofit organization, expanding internet access to schools, libraries, hospitals, rural communities across the United States of America, where it focuses on web development and accessibility. Can you imagine? Multi-talented. Beyond this technical work, Femi teaches IT courses in design in UI UX, web and application development and accessibility, an AI initiative for small business in AI. I like that. Equipping others to stay relevant in a rapidly evolving digital space. And of course, he's also the co-host of How Nasia, that podcast I love so much, Sabination, where he engages in thoughtful conversation on culture, society, and everyday reality. He's obviously a dedicated ministry leader, event organizer. Femi is deeply passionate about children's ministry, mentorship. I love that. You didn't put it there, but that's why I picked from that mentorship. He's known for calm leadership, empathetic communication, and the ability to energize volunteers, parents, and team through thoughtful planning and clear messaging. In the ministry, that's a very hard part,
Yeah.
So Femi enjoyed listening to music, audiobooks, and is married with 3 wonderful children. Welcome, guys. Welcome. So
Thank you so much.
Let's just go for the jugular. I'm in the jugular tribe. We've spent so much, but I'm excited to start. Yeah. So let's look at this. Yeah. I'm asking both of you now, but maybe Matt will go first. So what problem were you trying to solve when you started building what you build today, right? And why did the problem feel personal enough for you to commit so much to it?
Okay, thank you very much for having myself and Femi here. Like you said, I'll use How Nasiam podcasts and Nigerians That Rock platform as an example. How Nasiam podcast is a COVID baby. So it's a program. We used to listen to a program on radio then back in Benin called How Unasiam. So it's a pidgin English show where they just talk about any and everything. So Femi came up and said that show had died, but now that we're here, COVID, nothing to do. Obviously, we can work from home, can do things from home. So why can't we just see if we can resurrect that show in a podcast way and talk about everything and anything? And the difference is we're not going to be like every other podcast. In one, we're going to be speaking pidgin English. 2, we're going to be talking about anything and everything. It could be the mug you're using now, or it could be our dress sense. It could be just be anything, that people tend not to look into. So the problem was to solve some sort of our representation and have that honest conversation, right? So we tend to notice that our stories, and our everyday struggles, our successes, our failures, our identity, they were either oversimplified or not told, or not told properly, or not told properly. So for How Nasiam podcast, that was what we wanted. That space where people could speak freely in pidgin English, without polishing their reality for approval. But with Nigerians That Rock, that started way before COVID. And my big brother, Ajiboye, who came up with it, he had an experience where, initially when he just came to America, and having that Nigerian identity was like a curse, was a problem. To get a job, to get a contract, to get businesses, was a problem. You mentioned you're Nigerian, the problem. And I also faced that here as well. Oh, where you originally from? I'm Nigerian. Then, okay, scammers, or, people come up with some sort of negative stereotype about us being Nigerian. So the goal was to counter the dominant negative narrative, by highlighting Nigerians doing meaningful work globally, which we've seen over the years. So it felt personal to me because of that, being misunderstood, underestimated, or unseen, depending on which room I walk into. So that was the main reason why, both platforms were created.
Oh, wow. Are you convinced that you did the right thing?
I think, yes. I think I'm convinced that we did the right thing because based on the feedback we've gotten from when we started Sabi Nation and went on a break. I remember going on a break and Femi sent me a message and said, "Oh boy, they find us, so they find us like say we don't thief."
I was one of them. I was one of them. Like, yeah. I'm not sure you guys are going to make a lot of money from that thing. I'm telling you. It might just be your 401k that you are.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
So, Jeff, what about you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Chika has said it all as far as how Nasiam is concerned. But if I want to add teaching IT and being an IT instructor and IT coach, one of the reasons why I decided to go into that was because of the fact that when I started looking at, like, there were so many people teaching, let's me use the cybersecurity space was so saturated with people just doing 6 weeks courses, 5 weeks courses, and so many things attached to it. And at the end of the day, people pay a lot of money, and they just learn this thing as if they just just put it in their head just to write a certification or get a job, and then they get to the job, they are not able to perform. So I think I preferred the instructional part, so that if anybody is coming to get IT instruction, maybe in web design, web development, or UI UX, we sit down, I'll meet them where they are, and then try to at least bring them up. And sometimes I'm able to assess them and say, look, this is not the path you should go to. I think you should go this way, I think you should go this way. It's better, and I feel it has helped a lot of people that have, instructed and, put in that line of IT. Sometimes they want to go for the one that pays well. I say it's not really about the one that pays well. You should go for the one that you can actually perform and give your best at. And then when you are able to do that, you have that longevity, in the sense that the money you are going to make from cybersecurity in 3 months, if you spend some more time in maybe UI, UX, web development, you're going to get more clients. If you have a permanent job and some side hustle, right, you're going to get more jobs that will bring you more money. So at the end of the day, that part of that IT instructor, being an IT instructor, has given me a way of guiding people into being more effective in picking their path in IT, not just everybody rushing to the path that pays a lot of money.
You're an educational guidance and counselor.
Yeah.
Spiritual guidance and counselor. But this thing, your head can't carry it too.
I know it is, right.
I mean, you have to. That's the thing.
Most people don't know why it's finished.
Most people won't tell you. They just take your money and
yes,
that's it. They just run off.
They don't even give you a certificate. You just go and that kind of thing. Then if you pass certification, it doesn't mean you deliver on the job. You understand?
No, that's the crazy part. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I had there's a place where I work. There've been a lot of people that they got a job, and after a couple of months, everybody's wondering, like, how did this person get this job? Because they are not able to perform. They were very good at the interview. They learned, they coached them for interview, they coached them for certification. They kind of, hype up their resume, and then they get there, they are not able to perform. They are always looking for guidance and calling for guidance and all that stuff.
I think the system of education is changing. You understand?
Absolutely.
The mode of learning. Because I tell my kids that at age 10, I knew the capital of all the countries in the world. I told them the books I'd read, that I told them that there's no country in the world, from Tajikistan to Turkmenistan. Ask me, I will talk about it like this. I'm from that country. No Yahoo, no Google. You understand? So it's passion and interest. I was given the option of medicine or engineering. I didn't want any of it. I only picked engineering because I won't be in school for as long as medicine.
As medicine, yeah.
As a matter of fact, what you just mentioned now is going to be an episode, or is going to be an episode in our season 7, where we are asking a question: are we literate, or are we more literate or less?
Or less,
because we used to know current affairs back in the days.
Yeah.
But now you are asking kids, like you're asking some kids don't even know how many states they have in America. in the
They
United States.
don't know.
They don't know
That's
how
what
many
I'm
steps. They
saying.
don't know at all.
Mm.
You know, and those were easy things that we learned. So
We
the
need
question is,
more.
are we literate now, or are we more literate now, or less?
There's a program we have on the Atlanta Discuss channel. I'll send it to two of you. It's a new one. We call it Future Proof. There's this guy is a mathematician, he's an AI guy. I'm sure you guys will really want to. Amos Tafai from Bauchi State. He's a professor of maths. He's reading over 35 books.
Wow.
The topic today was, do you really need to go to college? You understand?
Good question.
Acquire all those debts and all that when you can, you know, that kind of. Anyway, let's go on. So let's talk about system thinking and building skills. I'll back to you, Mazi. Yeah. We talk a lot about building systems, you know, I saw you already. Yeah. And what's the most important system every startup must build early? Now, we're talking operations, finance, people, or customer feedback, and why?
Some people might disagree with me, but I'll say it anyway. For me, I think the most important system is a customer feedback system.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you why. Because it tends to inform every other system. You understand? You talked about operations, finance, and HR, and the rest of that. If you can fix operations, raise money, and hire people, you know what I mean? Those areas can be fixed. Operations, raise money, hire people, you know. But if you are building the wrong thing, then trust me, you are scaling to fail. So early structured feedback tells you, you know, what the problem actually is. You know, what are we facing here? Why is this not working? You know, what are they saying? What are the customers saying? The customers from our early years, Femi, you can remember, even you, Brosade, you remember, they'll tell you the customer is always right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we want feedback. Suggestion boxes everywhere. I don't even tend to see them anymore in Nigeria, but here in the UK, and obviously where you are in America, I'm sure you have those customer feedback papers and boxes and suggestion boxes and all that. You know, so early structured feedback tells you what the problem actually is, what customers would pay for, and what to prioritize. Once that is clear, trust me, operations, people, and finance can scale in the right direction rather than, you know, spend it with no purpose, if you know what I mean. So I've seen that happen several times. And customer for How on ASEAN podcast, Femi, if you remember, we were always hacking on, please give us your feedback, please criticize us, do not look that we're your friends, just tell us how it is and how we can improve. I can bet you, Femi, if you remember, a few of them came back to tell us that we're not doing gossip.
Yeah.
And we went back to tell them, we don't want to be like every other podcast or blog. We don't want to do gossip. We don't want to tell you that so-and-so person slept with so-and-so person's wife. That is not what we want to do. We want to ask you a very simple question.
I like what you're saying. You know, I'm very because I've struggled with it too.
Yeah.
I've been told you have to do gossip, sex, and all that.
Yeah, things like that. No. You see, that is what sells in back home, you know, if you know what I mean, or generally. But you see, there was Femi and I did an episode that I still talk about till today. If you look at your fuel tank gauge, there is a symbol there. Your car, for those of us that drive, when you look at your gauge, you see a particular symbol. A lot of us don't know what that symbol is. A lot of us, all they see is there's a particular finger that goes, fuel is empty, fuel is full. That's all they know. But there's a particular symbol. I can't really explain it, you know.
It's a small triangle.
The small triangle, yeah. The point
left or right.
Or right. A lot of us, even me, when Femi said that, I was like, bro, you know, so my mind no go there. But that was an episode.
Yeah.
And a lot of them that listened to that episode, you know, first of all, didn't understand what we're talking about. Then when we started explaining that through phone calls, feedback loops, and things like that, they started seeing it. But you see, there was one other message that particular episode was giving out. Paying attention.
Detail.
Pay to details, yeah. A lot of us are in a hurry. So yeah, I'll say the most important system for every startup is a feedback, you know, customer feedback system. It's very important for any business to grow.
A quick follow-up on that. Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
think that inability to believe in feedback, what the customer is saying, do you think it's a problem the third world have, especially in area of governance?
I agree. Yes, it is. It is a problem. Have you ever called? Have you ever called?
You didn't vote us in any way, so it doesn't,
Exactly.
it doesn't
Have you
matter
ever
whether you
called?
like
Have you ever called? Have you ever called it? I don't want to mention their name. Have you ever called a customer service in a telecommunication company in Nigeria and hear what they say? Have you ever called? Have you ever called them? Yes, or want to give them a feedback on something.
I do a lot of business in Nigeria.
Not my papa get the company. I beg. No, they tell me all these things. What you tell me? I don't want to hear that.
I'm telling you,
I've heard that and more.
So do you think our problem is cultural? I'm talking Africans, Black people generally.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it is a cultural thing.
It's cultural because I agree that it's cultural because you see most of these people when they leave that environment and then go to other countries and continents, they conform to.
And they go back immediately.
And when they get back there, they roll back immediately to. So it's a cultural thing.
So it's an inherent thing to be dishonest, to misbehave, to do all those things.
I totally agree.
I was having a quick conversation with a friend of mine today. He was on the phone to somebody, and he said, "I don't understand you. You come here and you stand on the queue. Then you go back home and you want to jump the queue. I don't understand how you think." He was saying, I was laughing, almost rolling on the floor when to the person he was talking to. He said, "Bro, do you understand? They will come here and they'll stand on the queue. They'll buy tickets. They'll go to KFC. They'll stand on the queue. Then when they go to Nigeria, the small mama put or aboki suya, you see them jumping the queue."
I think it's the culture and the system.
That's the system.
And the system that has been developed.
You know, the same way you go to church, you kneel down, you pray, praise and worship, you cry, do everything. And you're in your car in Los Angeles, you're going home, somebody overtakes you, you're already cursing the person. You know, so it's there, you know. And they say, don't gossip. Gossiping is bad, it's part of the sermon. And you're in your husband or your wife or family, and discuss about
you already started.
And the kids can hear, you know, that kind of
thing. Yeah.
Okay, Femo. Tech products, you know, let's talk about, tech product lens now. What are the non-negotiable systems that make a product scale cleanly? I'm talking documentation, design system, accessibility, testing, or automation.
So, coming from a web development background, right? I started IT with web development, right? So the first thing I always, when I met with clients, then I'll tell them, listen, I want to build you a website where people will get to whatever information they need in less than 3 clicks.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because one of the biggest challenges that I had then when I was learning how to design websites is that if you remember those Ask Jeeves, even Yahoo.com back in the days, those websites back in the days, USA.com, those websites where you go to find something, you are clicking, you click here, they will say, click here, click here, click here, click here. I get so frustrated, right? So when I started developing websites for companies back then, the one thing that I would tell them is, I want to make sure that any information that you want people to see, because that's what they were building their website for, I want them to be able to get that in less than 3 clicks. When you get to your homepage, you click here, you click here. That's why if you look at a lot of websites, you see that the homepage contains everything. Everything is on the homepage. So from the homepage, you can go to, if you want to see contact, you can go to contact. If you want to, that's it. So when you are building a tech product, accessibility has to be key. You have to build it in a way that it is accessible by everybody. And when I say accessibility, it's not just for somebody that, you know, that doesn't use glasses, for somebody that uses glasses, for somebody that can't move a mouse, for somebody that can't, you know, see colors, you understand? Or for somebody that can't see flashing lights, you know? So those kind of, you have to consider, you have to put all those things into consideration when you are developing a product.
Something everybody can use.
Something everybody can use. Yeah. That is why
you don't need a skill set to.
Yeah. Every developer. So there's this thing that I'm a developer myself, but I spend more time in front end designing what the UI UX, right, the look and feel of that product, and then I wait at the end to be an accessibility tester. So the developers, the backend developers, they don't like me very much because
But they are meticulous, yeah.
yeah, when I see
That's your
something, I'm
pride.
like, this is not supposed to be here. Why is this like this? When I click this, why am I seeing red? Why am I seeing this color? Why is this color so dark? Why can't I see the text? You understand what I'm saying? So I think that's having that QA accessibility is a very, very key part of any product that you are developing. If not, that product will be dead on arrival when it gets out there.
Guess what? Yeah, I'm not trying to be racist here, but when I wanted to start Atlantic Digest, my online newspaper, yeah, you know, everybody I knew that built websites were Nigerians. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But I made a conscious effort to myself that okay, I don't want a Nigerian to do it. Not because Nigerians are good or bad, but I need look, it's my backend I'm playing with. Yeah, I needed, you know, that kind of thing. So I went elsewhere, you know, and even though it takes a toll on me, there are 12 hours ahead and all that. But I was being precautious at that time, you know, that okay, this maybe you criticize somebody, they can bribe somebody here, and you know that kind of thing, especially instead. But accessibility, like you rightly said, you know, it's with the world is modern, you know, it's not a function of where you are located anymore. For example, we're all in 3 different cities in 2 continents right now. So, man, it's a function, and you don't need to be Einstein to use Zoom, Google, punch, and you know, and these guys too are evolving. They change what they're doing every time. Because I noticed it every time Zoom they change. You go to all these other, you know, everybody's changing. So
if you use WhatsApp often, you will see that after a while, you know, they'll open a feedback channel asking people, how do you think about how do you think how is that WhatsApp helping you? How is it flowing?
How you finding
and then after a couple of months, they will send new updates. You will see that they have moved this icon to the left. They have moved the search button to the top. They have changed this. That is accessibility.
You know what makes that interesting? Anytime those things change and I'm not aware of it, I like, have they hacked me? Is there somebody somewhere that's using my you know, I always, you know, I was like, because I didn't read, but sometimes you get notification and all that.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. There's so much to say. Let's talk about AI and the future of small businesses. Femi, I'm coming back to you now. Most people hear AI and think or hype or fair, you know, and a lot majority are scared, even though everybody's trying to show interest. But for small businesses, what are 3 real low-cost AI moves that improve workflow today without breaking ethics or trust?
So one thing I always, you know, people, you know, I mean, the popular saying about AI is that it's coming to take our jobs. And and the advice I always, or the response I always give to people is that get into it and make sure that it makes your job more efficient and effective rather than, you know, you losing the job, because AI is still a computer and computer will forever be garbage in, garbage out. So it is what you tell it to do that it's going to do. You understand? So for small businesses, I feel like the few ones that are advised when it comes to using AI. One was there's this, what do they call them? The rights underwriting company, the rights deeds, lease, the rights deed for lease and others, like underwriting. I think that's what they call them. So they just, like, the lady wanted something that she could use, like she wanted to just embrace the AI. So I had to we had to sit down. I needed to understand what she does. What are the laws guiding everything that she does when she's writing these things? What are the things that she's paying attention to? And with that, I was able to guide her on which specific AI tool to use. You know, a lot of people will just hear ChatGPT and they will jump on it. A lot of people will hear many others and they will jump on it. So, but for her, I discovered that I think our best bet was an AI tool called Perplexity, right? So I introduced that to Perplexity. And Perplexity, what Perplexity does was that we're able to take all the laws guiding, we're able to bring up all the laws guiding what she does. We put them there, and then when she wants to write now, when she wants to write, do any underwriting, she just prompts it to say, hey, this client is buying so property. This is the size of the property. This is the city that the property is situated and everything. And this AI Perplexity comes up with a perfect underwriting that she doesn't even need to edit much. You know, so instead of just jumping on any AI tool, we have to sit down, know what you're doing, and then because this AI tool, they all have different things. Recently, I was working with a developer, and he was telling me about, I need to. There are some is kind of getting into a new language, a new programming language. I was like, you can easily convert everything that you are doing in your old language to this new one. And he was like, how do I do that? I said, hey, there's an AI tool called Cloud. When you use Cloud AI, you can put everything that you've done before. You can bring a code, maybe let's say in PHP, and say, I want to convert this template or whatever this is to this other thing. And then you just give it the prompt and it will do it. So we introduce you into, for small businesses, we introduce you to the tool that will help your business. There are so many of them. There's ChatGPT, there's Copilot, there's Gemini, there's Cloud AI, there's Perplexity, there's DeepSeek. There's so many of them. Yeah. So basically, understanding your business and looking for that tool that can actually bring the best out of your business. That's what we're doing now. With the AI advice.
You guys have a consultancy firm.
I mean, it's not for now. I'm doing it like as a side also to every other thing that I do.
There's a reason I ask. There's potential in people. I just saw from what you've been telling me now. What you just explained now. Some people charge for it. That's simple.
Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely. So it came from my coaching, IT coaching side. From my IT.
I saw it. That's it.
Yeah.
Mazi, let's go to you. From a business strategy point of view now, that's why I said you guys have a consultant, because when you look at where you're both coming from, they're different, but they complement each other.
They're kind of,
Yeah. So where do you think entrepreneurs will misuse AI the most? For example, how can founders avoid building fast but fragile businesses?
I think I'll start very quickly because I know we're short on time. I think I'll start by saying when the functionality for AI came up, one thing I picked on was some of us being lazy mentally. So I remember when one of the combined county authorities I did a contract for, and they were practically using AI for everything. So they practically as if just, give me my remote control, tell AI to do this while I watch Netflix and chill. And for me, I'm looking at, if this is what this person does all the time, that means you're not using your brain, to do certain things. And what we all know that in future, what that means is the muscle, the thinking faculty and everything that makes the brain work and, will start to deteriorate. You won't be able to think to do things. So back to the question you've just asked, I think most founders or CEOs will misuse AI by treating it as a substitute for thinking, right? Rather than a tool for execution.
That's it.
You understand what I mean? So they just like wearing a onesie and just sitting at home doing nothing. So they tend to automate before they understand their customers, their processes, or their value. That creates speed, but not resilience.
I think
so. Yeah. So to avoid that fragility that you talked about, founders should first build a clear decision logic, simple processes, and human judgment. Don't let AI take everything. Then you cannot apply the AI to enhance those foundations. Yes, like what Femi was saying. Yeah. So AI should scale clarity, not confusion. You see, I said something, the other day. I said, do the thinking and allow AI to do the heavy lifting. which will enable speed without you losing judgment or direction. It is very simple. Femi has explained all I just said now from that aspect, business side of things that you just asked me, is to amplify what Femi have just said. Nobody said don't use it, right? But don't forget that you have to think as well.
Yeah.
And you now apply AI to, like Femi, you're talking about the underwriting lady, right? She knew what she wanted. She needed to do was to give the right prompt. So she was the one thinking about the prompt, what I want, what should be in that documentation, everything. Okay, this is all I need. AI, give it to me. Let me see.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that's exactly, why I think that should be done. Yeah, go on.
I think one of the for me, I feel one of the superpowers of entrepreneurs is vision casting.
Yeah.
You know, when I see people like, Elon Musk and all those entrepreneurs, I don't really like most of them, but what you cannot take away from them is vision casting. AI should not take that away. If the AI can take that away from an entrepreneur, then we have a problem.
We have a serious problem.
But when an entrepreneur is able to do that vision casting, this is what we want to do. I believe that at this time we will be ripe for this. At this time we will be ready for this. What AI will do is AI will add speed. If we're supposed to take it like 4 speed, AI will make it 15. And take it there, So that's for entrepreneurs. When they are kind of embracing the AI world. I'll give an example of what is happening in the US now with AI and all these big companies. You see what the CEOs are doing now is they are spending a lot of money building data centers to, because they want AI, they want to make money. They're thinking about the profit. You understand? But compared with what they are using AI for in China,
yes.
You understand? They are using AI for industries. They are looking at industries like now they can now in China they have so used AI in different industries that things that used to take maybe 3 weeks to produce, now they have used AI to reduce that time. You understand?
Yes.
They have used AI to work effectively in different industries.
Efficiency,
right? While in America, the CEOs are all they are doing is they're spending a lot of money. They're spending a lot of money because they're thinking about profit. They just want to profit from it instead of actually casting vision on different things that people will actually use this thing for, that we eventually still bring the money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I still read yesterday that a story about how advanced Asia is compared to the Western world.
Oh yeah.
In the story, one of the things I read said a train from New York to Chicago takes you about 19-21 hours. And in China, a train of the equivalent distance does about 43 hours.
Yep.
So that
the
writer said he was in Bangkok, Thailand recently. I mean, the writer is an American. I said, first time in Bangkok, she was overwhelmed at the advancement. She went to a restroom, everything, it's not automated, computerized, and it was just smooth sailing. And she was like, wow.
Yeah.
But well,
that's the thing. Asia, China and Japan, like we all know, like Femi said, while some of us down here, America, the UK, France, and what have you, tend to think about making the money now, not thinking about how it's going to be in the future. That those areas, they are looking at the future and seeing how they could use it to be very efficient.
To solve problems.
So they're thinking of solving problems efficiently.
I've seen Nigerians work so hard, do a lot of overtime, save so much money, and treat on the birthday party.
Yeah.
I've seen it, not once, not twice, and they're back to zero.
Yeah.
Or people save from January to the end of the year and go and do Oblay.
That's it.
December.
Come back in January and start crying.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. I'm telling you. But it is what it is. Money, execution, and hard decision. I have 2 more questions. This is the last one. Then the second one is really nothing. That's what we're going to talk about, our Sabination. But let's do money, execution, and hard decision. So, Mazi, in property and business, generally for you, the difference is often decision making under pressure. I mean, everybody that's run a business or knows that, But What's one deal or project that taught you the most about risk, and what framework do you now use before you say yes or no?
So I got into property a few years ago, and I'll say it's been amazing. I think for me, I take everything I do, including this show, as a learning environment. It's a school for me. So property investing taught me this very fast early on. There was a time I nearly agreed to a deal that looked tantalizing on paper. But I relied on too many assumptions, timelines, contractors, market conditions, and all that. So I would say that one thing that it taught me was what I call a downside framework.
Okay.
Now, you say, what is a downside framework? Now, a downside framework is a framework where you tend to ask those very nitty-gritty questions, those very important questions. What's the worst case scenario? Can I survive this? If I put my money into this, can I survive it financially at the end of the day? What about my emotions? What about my operations? Will I be able to survive? If the downside is manageable, and you feel that you can still have control over those key variables, then you can proceed. But if not, my brother, my sister, run fast.
You know what I'm laughing?
No matter how attractive.
Do you know what I'm laughing? Yeah. So
Why?
sometimes I talk to young people, couples, they want to marry.
Yeah.
These young girls for 2 months and late last year, that look, you have to ask these guys powerful questions.
Yeah.
Questions that you ask him might scare him, he'll never come back.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's better you ask now. You understand? And it doesn't come back. You understand?
Yeah.
And you not asking now, I'm saying I do, I'm finding out, you understand? Yeah. So if this guy is coming drunk all the time, he borrows from you today, borrows from you tomorrow.
Yeah.
The flag is getting red, but it's not red enough. One day, the second raises his hand. You should know that when you are living under the same roof, the thing will be harder than that. So I'm just trying to. I mean, it's different, but it's within the same.
Yeah, within the same circle. Yeah, so that's what I do. I tend to use that downside framework, and it has helped me a lot. I've invested in a property where, because it's me and my missus, we tend to invest in the venture, and sometimes we tend to agree to disagree. Then for peace to reign. For peace to reign, you just say, you know what, okay, yeah, you know what,
and stylishly disagree, yeah.
Just stylishly and just allow it go, So, so when she, she goes in and puts in the effort, puts in the money and everything, then all I'll just do I'll do my part by supporting. Okay, what do we need to do? Do we need to get somebody to come and do this door, do that, do this? What are we doing? Then all I'm waiting for is at the end. And at the end, you find out that you're either losing money or you're not making, as in, you're not losing money or just getting your capital back, Then I say, but I told you. You didn't want to listen. I've seen it. I did my research just the way you did, but there are areas you did not go to, but you refuse, and I'll just let you be. Go and put the money. So when we lose, both of us will drink the garri together, no shaking.
Well, I like that. The ship must always sail in the same direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember when you were talking about. I can't remember what we were talking about, but something came to my mind about. Or they were talking about details to things. So something that came to my mind that human beings naturally can be indolent. We look for the easy way out. Indolency disregard means mental laziness. When we're talking about AI, so efficiency will always be there. So I just wanted to add to that the AI itself, the tool, is supposed to enhance your thinking ability. Because it makes things easy for you, doesn't mean you should rest on your horse. It actually to increase your capacity
to think.
Yeah. Because 9 out of 10 times, most of us on the planet, our brains are underutilized. We don't even know the capacity.
No. You see, Femi said something. Femi said something, and that was the first thing he said to me when I was trying to, Femi, if you remember, I was trying to share my concerns about AI and this whole laziness thing. And the first thing Femi said to me was, bro, garbage in, garbage out. This is what you give to it that to give back. So you need to really think. So when he said that, I went back and I decided to take some training. So I did a certification course on generative AI and project management, see how that works together. So that's when I tend to now understand the prompt engineering side of AI. Forget the word engineering or people that are listening to this show. They just don't let that scare you. They're just telling you.
Mustafa, I'm telling you.
They're just telling you, you know, that what you're doing is some sort of an engineering, but it's not engineering, if you know what I mean. You know,
so Ade, to add to what you were saying before, right? Yeah. So I told you I helped a developer start using Cloud AI, right? So after a couple of weeks, I logged on to the account that was set up for him and I was looking at his prompts. So so what I found out was that he was using the AI agent to write his code, basically telling AI, write this code, oh, change this one, change that one, you know. So I called him. I said, I asked him a question. I said, so what have you learned so far in the last 3 weeks using Cloud AI? What have you learned so far? Because you are changing programming language. So what have you learned? He couldn't say anything. So I said, I knew you were not going to learn anything because of the fact that I've seen your prompts.
Okay.
So I took him back. I said, okay, so for the last thing you just did, here's a prompt for you. Tell Cloud, give me a documentation of what you did and how you did it. And then Cloud created a document that documented everything that was changed, why it was changed, why it is important to change it, what the effect is. And then I said, test the system again and look for any errors. If you find any errors, tell me why you feel this will be an error, because now the AI is not running the code. It's just writing the code. Why do you think when we run this code, it will be an error? So I told him, I said, you don't mortgage your thinking, mortgage your brain to AI.
No.
What you do is you use it to learn.
It's a learning tool.
Yeah, it's a learning tool. It codes better than you. So how is it doing it and why is it doing it? So you can learn even more. You can even be more advanced than you are right now using AI. AI should teach you. It will help you. It will guide you. It will teach you. And then at the end of the day, you come out better. Not that you come out duller while the AI is doing all that.
All the work.
I was going to ask you about when building digital product. What's your approach to deciding what to build for? So you've kind of answered that.
Answered it, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, he did that.
yeah. You do that documentation. What problem is this product solving? That's number one. What do you
need it for?
What do you need it for? Absolutely. And then that will guide the steps we will take to build it.
It's a function of application, actually.
Yeah.
How you apply, when you apply, and
yeah.
So subination. That's what one.
Yes, so
anyway, you know, I like rock angle too. You know, I love fantastic. I've met a lot of people interviewing. You know, now we have 4 programs on Atlanta Discuss.
Wow!
We have a sport program, Socalismo.
Okay, yes, I know about the sports one. Yeah,
I don't anchor, but I appear there once in a while.
Yeah,
we have that future proof, the education one. Amos handles that completely. Then, of course, State of the Nation. Then we have what's the 4th one again? I forgot it. I forgot it. This we are doing now.
Atlanta Discuss. Atlanta Discuss. Atlanta Discuss is the first one. The first one.
I've met guys. I've met IT guys that tell you Ibadan is the hub. I mean, they will fight me and tell me in Nigeria, Ibadan is the IT hub. They have guys in Jos now. They are telling me Jos is the hub, and they are proving it to me. Things are happening. I'm telling you, the future of Nigeria is bright. It's just leadership.
It is, and
just leadership.
It's surprising, and that's why I'm always surprised when I hear that the government is mortgaging something to a foreign country, an IT product to a foreign country to manage some part of the government. I'm like,
they are building in Ukraine. I have guests that will come maybe in 2 months' time because they're very busy in Ukraine. there are Nigerians building drones in Ukraine. I'm telling you, I'm not.
And I know that for a fact.
Yeah,
I
I
would
know
not.
that for a
I don't
fact.
know about that, but I won't doubt it because
I know that
I'm
for a
telling you,
fact.
man.
we
I
have
research. I look
we
for.
have geniuses. We have geniuses.
Yeah.
Not many people I've met, and even my program, I don't know how far it has gone. Now I'm doing just about 25K subscribers, but I've met people. People call me. People, you understand? So it's good. So now you both build communities, right? Communities, conversations. How does storytelling help startups grow? Customer credibility, partnership, what have you? And what's one lesson founders should learn about communicating their work without sounding like they are selling? When you're trying to be a tradesman, you're trying to market something without sounding like, because some guys, when I moved to my new house, some guys always come knock my door. They want to sell something they already have. And they'll be speaking to you in authority. Like, yeah, so who's doing this for you? Who's doing this for? I'm like 6'4", so this guy like 5'10", so he's asking me, like, come on, what are you talking about? So who's doing your pest control? How much are you paying? Can you be asking me that kind?
That's aggressive marketing.
Aggressive marketing, yeah.
It works, I mean,
it tend to work for some people, and for some people it doesn't. Femi, if you don't mind, let me kick this off. Because I really want to. I really want to touch on how Nasiam and and how Nigerians are rock inside this question. You see, one thing I've noticed is that storytelling works because people don't connect only with the products. They tend to connect with the problem, the journey, and the value.
Okay.
Right? So for startups that want to grow faster, when they communicate why they exist, who they are building, whatever they are building for, right? And what they have learned along the way, that has to talk about the journey. So that tends to talk about, okay, this is because of this journey, that was why we did this. Then the key lesson is this: talk about the customer struggle more than your solution.
They can relate.
Right? They can relate with it. People will feel seen and understood. The trust will grow organically. See, for Nigerians for How Nasiam podcast first, right? The focus, right, is never look at what we are doing, but look at what we as a people are experiencing. Are you seeing it now? What we are experiencing. So that approach is what has built, we've used to build trust for both How Nasiam podcast and Nigerians that rock, which in turn has attracted people, like I said, when we went off for a while, we got the knock on the door. We got the bang on the door.
Where have you been?
Text messages, WhatsApp messages. Oh boy, everything they happen. No, don't pack shop.
I'm telling you.
People were asking, what do you need? Yeah, we had our challenges, but we all have families, we have other jobs that we're doing, things that we're doing that we'll be able to, that will enable us to be able to put in more effort, finance, and pay for the platforms we're using to broadcast the podcast. We also need to sit down, do a lot of reading. The topics we have for season 7 are going to be amazing. In fact, the one we just recorded now, as funny as it is, it's something, Brosade, you need to listen to it. I'm sure immediately you see the title safe. Before once you start laughing,
see the title,
once you see the title, you start laughing first because
I'm a big fan.
It will trigger what we're talking about. So yeah, for like I use Nigerian That Rock and How Nasiam podcast as an example because that was the reason why we did it. The journey, what we're experiencing, the stories that we're being told, we're not being told. First of all, in the language that people will be able to relate very easily. We are speaking English on your show because it's an English show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? If you turn this, if you change this show into a pidgin English show, you will see the audience are going to get, and you see the reaction you're going to get. It sticks differently, especially when it comes to our own people.
I thought of doing something like that too, but
yeah,
actually,
you understand? So, and on our show, we've been able to, you've introduced us to a lot of people as well, so thank you for that, that have been on our show. Yeah, that has been on our show.
We have not scratched the surface at all.
No, we haven't. No, we haven't. Sabi Nation is still, Sabi Nation hasn't started walking yet. Sabi Nation is still crawling.
I can agree. I agree.
Yeah. So, and some of those people that have been on our shows don't even know how to speak pidgin English. They never grew up in Nigeria. They grew up out here in America or in the UK. But we're able to accommodate them. We're able to also ask them those questions in pidgin English.
Do you watch those guys that podcast? Those two Nigerians born in America. Do you watch it?
Akbar
and
Godfrey. Yeah. Love them. I love them.
Akbar. One guy's name is Bajabi Amila.
Ahmed,
and then they comment.
Like, what's wrong with these boys? They want, So Femo, over to you.
Yeah. So if I like when I started in web development, I'll still go back to that. One of the things that I learned quickly was that the best way to get more clients was word of mouth. Word of mouth. So I quickly learned how to, tell the story of why I'm a web developer. You understand? Because at that time, many people did not want a website. Many people did not care about a website, Many people did not think that, that is something that they should be spending their business hard-earned money on, right? But I had an experience where when I moved from Benin to Lagos, I met friends that were already doing web development in Lagos, right? So I had my older brother I always say he's a marketing genius. He told me, say, Femi, he said, why do you want to charge the same thing with these people that are here? Why don't you start building website for small businesses, 20,000 naira? Just walk down the street, Adelabu and all this Surulere. Tell them you want to build website. Yeah. Tell them you want to build websites of. So, and when I go to those people, they're asking me, why do I need a website? So I needed a story to tell them. But luckily, I had a client that I had already spoken to. I said, look, I want to build you a website. And he said, I don't think I need that for now. I will do it sometime later. Then he decided to go to the embassy to get, he went to the embassy to get visa. And they said, you say you're a businessman. Where's your website? And he did not get that visa. So he came back to me and said, I must build this visa. That story, that was my story. That was my story.
Oh, God.
That was the story I told. And from there, I got so many clients that one day I was telling that same story in a cyber cafe. And somebody turned and said, hey, you say you build website? Yeah. Say, this is my card. See me later. That was the one of the biggest contract that I had. You understand? I ended up from building a website of 20,000 naira. I ended up building the first website for 5 million naira.
Wow.
So
at that time,
back then, so storytelling is very, very key. You should know how to tell the story of your business, not telling it in a way that you are selling, like you are selling something, but not telling it like you are selling something to make money. Make them understand that I'm selling you value. You need me.
Yeah,
I'm selling value.
Relatable.
Yeah, it's it's something that is relatable.
It has to be relatable.
I just built a website for somebody that was denied visa because they don't have a website. You better come out now. You don't know when you are going to the embassy. So that is very key. It's very key for anybody that is a startup. You should be able to tell your story in a way that people will relate and want to, deal with you.
Yeah.
Do you have anything on Sabi Nation you can play for us?
It could be like audio. Let me see.
Just play something audio. Doesn't matter.
Okay, 1 minute. Let me quickly.
Let them, because from our analytics, we do have people in all the 6 continents actually, except Antarctica. Yeah, but my analytics show we have people everywhere.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah. So,
bros, once the show, the one we have. The one we recorded is coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Femi, please, before bros wake up from sleep, send out.
So I want you guys to try out AtlanticDigest.com. The subscription is still free.
All right. Atlantic Digest. Yeah.
newspaper. We're doing about right now. We're doing almost 40,000 clicks a week now.
This is .com.
.com, yes.
Yeah.
Atlantic Digest. This
Yes,
is
.com.
not discussed. Atlantic
The
Digest.
digest. Yeah, the digest one. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you subscribe, you get 2 emails every day. Our news, Nigerian news, so you don't have to go anywhere. Yeah. Then our main article for that day, you get it. We're very big on articles. We have the Odin Carlos of this world, Father Kuka.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, yeah, Father Kuka. Anyway, let me round up by saying this. When you were saying the work you put into doing all this, I'll give you a quick story. Did I interview Dele Momodu? He was in Lagos, then he was going to Port Harcourt. He said, don't worry, we'll do it. So the day we're supposed to do was going to be in Accra, At that time, when he got to Accra in the morning, we were supposed to do it 10 a.m. Accra time, I was in Houston that day. So it was, at that time, it was 5 hours difference.
Yes.
So that 5 hours difference meant that I have to be awake, maybe around 3 a.m. or something like that. So I slept early, like I was around 8, and I woke up at 11. So clearly, I could not sleep again. So I had to be awake till
interview time.
Yeah. So I just wanted to buttress the point that is how complicated these things are.
Can be, yes.
You do it at all time.
At all times. Yeah.
You have to do it. So guys, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And we're partners in progress. There's no doubt.
Absolutely.
Awesome, fantastic guy. And it's good catching up after a long time. So viewers, So I'm going to add you. I have a chat group for everybody that's been on Startup and Innovators. It's good because it's good for networking. You understand?
Okay. Absolutely. That's a good one.
So this is coming out. I mean, when you see it, you understand from there.
Yeah, we need to be part of that as well.
All right. Take care. One love. See you next week, viewers.
All right.
Bye.